friends. I'm so bored. I'm on my way to HEB. That's my view at the moment. What else? Else? Cold outside. Just wear a sweater. Oh, it's cold in here. Inside the building, it's colder than outside. What else? What else? You can show everyone. That's, I don't know why we were saying like today. January 4th, 2025. That's the one that you're around. Like, I don't know, they don't have that. But I'm sneaking alive. Kill me. And even if I don't get away with that from the FBI, I completely removed them from my mind. Once again, just because I have them on Facebook doesn't mean we're friends. What else? So they need for me to make that public just because they were friends with me on Facebook. It doesn't mean that we're friends. What else? Heading to HEB to buy water for myself. Spoke to him on the earlier for text. Happy about that. What else? What does 4-bedroom apartment look like here? I don't think I'd like to stay here. Like to hear in community. I'm not a stable to get a larger apartment here. I like the aesthetics of that. And it's newish too. You can show everyone got in the way of me receiving money so that I would live in a low income place. Because I didn't have a room. I was paying rent. And even in a low income apartment place, those people that I grew up around are disgusting. They stayed in my home. They stole my gold bars. They stole my money. They stole my vehicles. They stole my coffee. They stole my plantains. And they're trying to kill me without excuses. About like, oh, she should be in low income housing. Thinking that people, they assume as if people at a low income place are gonna have guns shooting around. And then I'll die quicker. Ew. We're so gross. They're looking for a scapegoat that will kill me. So that's why I post on Facebook.com/ARBlueSky the screen and the pictures of the people that have abused me because they're looking for a scapegoat. Those ticky hot crushes that I had that are men. Ew. So ellos ven una casa y se emocionan. O quieren que la gente viva en un río otra vez, porque eso quizás era felicidad para ellos. Oh. Those lights are so pretty. From a tree. That's pretty. What else? What else? So, I studied because I had crushes since the age of 3 or 2 that didn't materialize because they don't know what being a man is. Possibly to this day, I haven't talked to them in more than 20 years. And they stole my homes. They moved in to them with the ticket. I'll cook for you, honey. I'll do whatever just to see that penis and feel like a woman. You can shoot all of them. You can start with my mother. You can decapitate Gloria Cordero. You can burn alive Arlene Lorenzo. We're gonna learn matters one way or the other. People say, hopefully, what else? Like right on time to make it super obvious. Like, oh, I'm not gonna add them on Facebook again. They may be excited, thinking, why is she gonna add us on Facebook again? When I'm not. What else? What else? What else? They think they can predict the future. They gaslight. What else? What else? There's a freeze warning. Good to know. An email would have been nice. Or maybe I would read it if I received cabinets under a sink all for the pipes not to burst. So when the sun starts. Also tonight, it is so clear. What else? What else? What else? What else? Two people watching. Two don't like this place. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. You can show everyone that says today that I should get a job instead of asking for people to give me money. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I miss Jaden and I miss Kaylani. I miss Jaden and I miss Kaylani. That is my priority. Just as equally as my priority as my lady parts. What else? That kid cooks pancakes already. By herself, possibly. That's so lovely. I texted Kaylani earlier and I said I'm about to cook pancakes for myself and eat it with a banana. And she said, I just cooked pancakes. So, what else? What else? She even believes in equality. What else? What else? What else? What else? What is Kaylani's net worth at the moment? If she were to start a movie, it's not that big of a deal. Like, wow, what would Kaylani's net worth be if she were to start a movie? I'm dying to know. I'm gonna sleep with every actor and producer to get out of poverty, just to find out what they think about my daughter being an actress. And that would be funny. Some people I've heard go through all the trouble of sucking dick illegally, and then the daughter's like, why did you find that out? I don't want to be an actress. I just wanted to know how much people are willing to pay for you without you needing prostitutes. La madre abnegada que no quiere prostituir a su hija ni a su hijo. But that's the wrong. What else? What else? What else? I've heard that there's some like that. They're like, I'll legally prostitute myself just so that my children don't have to. That could be at places where there are no homeless shelters, or a homeless shelter kicks them out and they have no other recourse than let themselves get raped by possibly family members and or past boyfriends that can't stand seeing her happy, and eventually those people go to jail for abusing her. And she gets out of illegal prostitution, which in reality was her being raped. Oh, some people do that. They say, yes, I'm an illegal prostitute. Don't call me a rape victim. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, Lord. This David is mad that he didn't find any chisme through me. Ew. Esa gente usually have like one good hookup or two, and then they rape and steal from people like me just for their entertainment. Se cree que soy Paris Hilton. ¿Qué va a decir? Well. Mi amiga que no es mi amiga se compró un carro y yo no tengo carro. And he'll be like, those cavemen. Ya sé quién me va a llevar a pasear y a quién le voy a chupar las nalgas mientras maneja su carro. Ew. Ew. You can hang David Ledesma for stealing from me. What else? Decades ago, my ear just went right now. Couldn't help it. What else? And keep one in poverty trying to rape one continuously. Like, this is my wife. And people say, no, that's your sex slave that we're trying to save. So I'm saving him the trouble of never introducing me to people. For real. It's such the weather. There's a freeze coming. That is so weird. Anyways, like, I'm too hot for the sweater too. What else? You can decapitate by having sweaters and substance that have raped me, stolen my money, and caused my poverty that has led far degrading money to be separated from. What else? They hinder my ability to network. Ew, do they go on blaming the kids? Ew, I hate people like that. I'd rather be celibate until I find the right amount of money being gifted to me and the right people. For real, I hate people like that. Ew, that's not orgasm worthy to me. Two people are watching for have liked this post. What else? Anyways, the east side has the nicest apartment complex under the poverty level. And the west side has a better laundromat. At least in theory. Maybe the machines are the one. What else? I still haven't tried that burger place. What else? I want to take myself to the IMAX theater. I want to take myself to that community center nearby and hang out for a day, see what it's about. I want to attend bingo through the city. Oh, sorry, if I want live killing of the people that have abused me were talking today, I would continue with my normal routine. I'm basically doing a mock-up online, tagging CNN is the opposite of a live killing. Today, instead of me watching it through CNN watches it through me. And the people aren't dead. Porque mira que te jode. They say, she has something last night, must mean that she's a murderer. She must have murdered someone. I guess she would need somebody else. Ew, does she say that to her friends? Ew, so tipo da un asco. Just because some people's pictures aren't in those statements. I want a live killing for you. Doesn't mean that I want a live killing for you. What else? I need water, more avocados, dark chocolate. I get milk. I want overnight oats and I can't afford them. I need yogurt that I like, and it's a specific Fayette one, so I have to visit a few places. I'm out of San Antonio Beach for a day to get the Fayette yogurt overnight oats. What else? 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 And what else? I need almond milk, pastry silk. I need cinnamon. I need almonds. I need vanilla. I need raspberries. Dark chocolate chips. Ideally the mini ones. Or I like to chop chocolate too. What else? 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 Hi. What else? So one person's watching. Or there's 32 people are watching. And it's just one. Oh, I've been to the other today. And there is one side. Interrupted my thought. It's gonna get a plus 26 on the other side. Never mind, less than 11. And that's our soft tone. It's a yoga. What else? Or was this way? We gotta do some carrots here. Everyone that caused my poverty, and I didn't get to take myself to the pool this year. What else? What else? What else? What else? So I don't post pictures of people living around. It's all Diana en la playa. Literally giving them that look. Hay un hijo de Benjamín Suárez Lorenzo que tiene una casa conmigo y le dio loan y me robó dinero. Y una vez iba con gente para la playa o venía llegando de la playa a la casa de alguien. And I'm like, like what? Un aldeano en la playa? Ew. Like, good for you, but hopefully everyone's thinking. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm so bored. That's a pretty blue. Oh, show that here, maybe if I remember. There's a tiny little house that's being remodeled with the pretty blue on it. No, that's part of the remodeling. It was blue already or not. What else? 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 You can shoot everyone that gets in the way of receiving money para verme ir a la universidad y que yo saque toda. O sea, con qué ropa voy a llegar, con qué comida voy a tener en mi cuerpo para poder estudiar. I don't support the ramen noodle lifestyle. For others, why would I go on to live? I was screaming on Facebook, please don't let me overdose on coffee. I need some money. Like I'm hungry. There's not enough food at the homeless shelter. Well, so now they're gonna cause my eviction and possibly give me a little bit of money so I can get myself a secretary job while a homeless shelter again and show that now at a homeless shelter I can take myself dancing from the place. The Sarah Law. The ones that are like slightly a little bit above intelligences, they didn't see her on Snapchat, and I even would show them her content. I'm like, look at her, she's getting ready to pick me up so we can go out. What else? 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 You can shoot everyone that gets in the way of me receive money. Saying ya cansa con la Sarah esa. They get jealous. They're like, ¿por qué bailo con Sarah y conmigo no? What else? What if I really need to face myself down because they've caused those people that I grew up around to make my Facebook account a sex slave, which I am. So I'm having fun tagging news channels and or news shows or news people. Diane Sawyer's account doesn't stay tagged. That's okay. What else? I'm just dating, but I'm seeing with that penalty for it. I want to lie. Mostly because they look at my Facebook and my YouTube looking at who I like. Hopefully that person didn't like me. That's how they behave. Any person can do. They're so good. Be dating until financially stable. Attending college until financially stable. College degree isn't a requirement for everyone to have money. Everyone knows that. The people that stole my coffee, the people that stole my plantains, the people that stayed in my homes without my authorization go on looking down onto people and saying, oh, she should get a college degree. Like they're confessing or not confessing. It's best if she got stars and get a college degree. I won't tell you that I stole money from her. Yeah. What else? It's laughable how we really sort of try to meet you. And they used the home that my parents had built for myself and them. But just individually as a joke, there's more than two that I had crushes on. And I didn't have peace at my parents' home with siblings. I was 5 years old when my siblings were in school. What else? So it just got worse that I was just petrified inside of my parents' home. Thinking like I want to get killed. What else? What else? They went on to use the home to take hot. Porque ellos crecieron en Río, no tenían casa antes de yo nacer, parece. Entonces se emocionaron de ver casa, tenían título, they went off to buy everyone que ellos crecieron en Río, that they fucked and tried to kill me. I don't know, they dancing there with money that they stole from me, possibly. Ceilings and 7 feet tall men that raped ill. What else? I want to dance in 1902. I want to eat at Dodo next week. What else? Anyways, I'm very satisfied saying that it's been, 41 years since I got engaged, married, or whatever, or divorced. And I took it as a divorce that day. And They never got an orgasm from me, those 3 gentlemen. Or 4 gentlemen. What else? And tampoco those ticket hooks. You know, some men. What else? That's saying equality hasn't been achieved. Uno le da respeto y ellos lo quedan en muerte. What else? What is up there? Again. What else? Ash Rider 157 says, did you say HEB? No. I don't know what that means. I could have been at the Aiden a few times already in the past year. Maria Misa, una puerca. She stars me on purpose so that men literally just get to my vagina. That's what I reckon. You can electrocute Maria Misa. Imagine having daughters. Mother turning out to be that type of shit. Is what Arlene Lorenzo said to me decades ago. He's like, I don't know how to protect you. I don't know how to protect you. Your mother literally starts you and prioritizes before raising you. She wants to have the better marriage. Ew, that's not good. What else? I went to shop at H&M today. I'm gonna eat pizza at the shops at River Center and a salad and a cannoli or cheese maybe. I'm gonna take myself to the IMAX theater. What else? You can shoot everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money by saying, but has she been to the IMAX theater before? Those ticket hooked. Fuck some retards. Ew. That they're like baby, but then oh my god, it's calling baby and I agree. Yeah. Where else are we gonna go just for fun? With money they can steal from her if she's at the IMAX theater. Like it says fancy right there, IMAX. That makes me fancy, right? I walk in there and I turn into fancy for a moment. I'll watch a movie. And then I tell you my rate for the night for watching a movie with you. Yeah. Eso, hijos deben avisar a Lorenzo, no más, son tan puercos. awful. Literally. One of them, or two, his nickname is Asco. I call him Asco would mean get to know you. Fo is like, ew, stay away. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Porque también bañadito, bien limpiecito. So al verlo yo me digo, da un asco. What else? What else? It's El corazón de Sender trying to find answers. It was a young man that's 9 years younger than me. He's like, I wasn't around when she was 3. I want to know why my brothers tried to kill me todavía. So I can get to her, and I don't want to get to her. Eso va a ser el orgasmo más explosivo como el que tuvo Richie. What else? If you had one behavior with this condom, you don't walk away. I don't look for evidence of people, especially in that situation where he's possibly saying, like, I'm just a colleague, or she possibly doesn't even remember me. She thinks I'm my dad. So you possibly just take off the condom and use it. Not right now, because of things done my dad. What else? What else? One person's magic. So pretty. So nice. What else? I want to live at 300 Main with Jada Kilani ASAP, or 7600 Broadway, or the Arts Residences, or Art House, or the Dream Hotel, or maybe even the Thompson for a while. That would be fun. Jada Kilani can handle that. They've done it before. Oh, they're excellent travelers. In between those, sometimes I would just get books. I would take them to the library a lot during those days too. It's like we're doing hotel living, then Target for toys, another etch a sketch, because all your etch a sketches are in transit. So let's just get an etch a sketch. And coloring books or crayons, pencils, a book of your own, even if I take it to the library. What else? Only one that thing of magic to me that you can just pop it and make some noise, okay? But when you play with that, please do it away from me. That's the only requirement of like hotel living. It's like if you're playing something that's loud, please do it away from me. Out of respect, first, I may walk up to you and hear the sound if I want to. I want a keyboard for myself today. Is there dancing at the Intercontinental? Or can I just head out to dinner with someone and dance by the table? I love doing that. All those drugs that took me out and never got away with killing me. Okay, make sure that I dance by the table with them. They're like, she's so fun, not tonight, guys. Possibly. Or she's always driving. People say that. Those people that dance by the side of the table while everyone's having a conversation and there's music playing and they're drinking alcohol are hard to kill, people say. Or when they drive themselves. Or how are we going to show up at work tomorrow if we all quit Nordstrom at the same time? That will make people suspect. Those people that go around y lo deben pensar en Lorenzo. Ew. Oh, una basura. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, I want a bank account with a frostband. How much money can USA hold for me? That's very interesting too. I'll diversify my banking. And will I have cash in my home too? What else? What else? What else? What else? Ooh, that little room. And the penthouse. Oh, the arts residences. The one with the toilet in it could have been just a place to add una bóveda by the window. Very slim next to the wall and have cash stacked there. That's smart. What else? Two people are watching. I don't like this post.
Hello.
What else?
So you like, so you never liked her then? Yeah.
Oh, did Benjamin's residency son suicide after hearing que Iker no metió mujer en la casa? They possibly go on saying that's their mother's life style. Orilla puerco. I say it's called respect. What else? What else? Yeah, hold on. What else was I literally, they get excited about that and everyone's freaking out. Ew, so gross. Even my siblings stole my identity and stayed in my home in Puerto Rico. Ew. I don't want another sibling. I want to keep going for myself. Ace. Well, I have a sibling. So fight around. Maybe I'll see you better. No? Oh, order from Amazon. And that's okay too.
Anyways, you sound
Yeah, you can carry it. That would be so much fun.
I don't see no.
That's the kind of person I want to be carrying around my new guitar. So people are watching 325. I like this post.
Follow, bro.
Famous students, Styling Jaden, styling Filoni.
We have a game like that.
You can shoot everyone who's in my embarrassing money. So I can't style my children. What else? So we're pretending today that the live killing of the people that have gone in the way of embarrassing money is happening. I don't want my way to actually to buy food for myself as always. But Jaden can only invite. So Jaden can only work with me. I would be buying food. Jaden can only already mention them so many times in hotels today. What else? Did you know, for years before I was even born, one person could manage neighbors into safety? There's so many kids that I'm grateful to that wake up with that mentality of like I could be the one. But they paved the way in their community, so that's good. What? Somebody mentioned something to you and enjoyed it. What else? Isn't that from California? Like In-N-Out Burger? There was one in Utah, wasn't there? What is yogurt over on the New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts that I'll never live in? No, ahí es donde viven los hijos de Arlene Lorenzo. Permanently con la nena esa que tenía Harry Winston from day one. Supuestamente, they're like, pick a state that you would never want to live in. Like Massachusetts, you talk so much about meeting people there. Que tienen Harry Winston since day one, and that's why you really killed me. And you steal my money to keep up with that shit. Anyway. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Ahora parece que se enteraron. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, in this post, they told the U.S. Army, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, all of my boyfriends, the Justice Department. For real, I hate it when people get in the way of my independence as if I need a man to protect me. How many women serve in the army? For real. People still don't want to accept the concept of equality. What else? What else? What else? What else? I couldn't have done it without you, a person that started the war. It's not how I want to live my life. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Look at what we bred. Look at what we can destroy if we want to. Coronavirus. Let's see how your children turn out, though, bitch. Is what I heard decades ago about me. Decades ago. They get so proud that I make the world a better place for them since age 2 or 3. It's like, wow, she just basically absorbed all the good of us and gives compliments with that smile. When she sees people like family, not rapists. Oh, that. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm gonna purposely stay at a Motel 6 in one city that I'll find the best review of a Motel 6. I'm gonna spend at least an hour possibly looking for reviews of Motel 6 pics, or I could just Google best rated Motel 6 according to TripAdvisor and stay there just for one night though. What else? 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 There's a Tower of America from this. I come from. And I didn't visit the HEB that I wanted to visit. Congratulations to the Yummy inside as little sisters. Take it hot. Teenage and the ladies Lorenzo Suarez on their arranged marriage decades ago. Hush. This that lives there and move into it quickly is how she behaves. Down asco. Hasta por Raker me quiso pelear. En 2020 yo no peleo por eso, yo no tengo ni que pelear if I have financial stability. And I would have rather he said, it's not sexy home with Bobby and I take you home to dinner, you take me home to dinner. Like, I'm good, ho, I'm good. Like, I don't want to go through that and then be like, stop myself and not having sex with you. That's painful for some people. I'm just like, whatever, just seeing your pretty face and hearing you. I'm just like, and they want to finish them. So, it's like, I don't want that temptation because I'm happy in a relationship. But when I'm financially stable, if I wanted to tap that, I could possibly tap it one more time if I wanted to. And he is working to. What else uses of psychic and no te mató? Cuando dicen así, lo manejaste como consciente. They mean I'm so upset que no te mató. What else? What else? I charge my phone to where it won't turn off while I'm shopping HEB and then it might be too less. Is my daddy saying no? We're that hard. We're no tranquilo. Se le perdieron sus chapavitas y ella deja la casa abierta sin nada. Now I regret this for not having any money. What else? It's better than being locked out and not having money to pay for a new key. What else? Thank you. That's the quality people. Oh, people don't get it. There's no, like, le abrí la puerta porque ese es el primo de fulano and que si uno no le abre la puerta, I don't know anyone ever. Or porque hombre que estaba cansado de trabajar, que esto que estaba un vago. Oh, do you notice how I look at people? That to me, like, everyone is un vago or lazy. Meaning that they do what they need to do in life. Not like lazy. That doesn't work for like the basics of life. What else? What else? I just paid for my phone today. Mira mi panza. What else? I just took this out of the dryer and it shrunk a little bit. I wanted them blue, I wanted them black. What else? What else? Anyways, I grew up by the side of a river, literally. Where people get excited about homes todavía, televisores. Ew. Not one bragging about that Lexus que me compré a while ago. No one bragging about my LG TV system, no GTV, whatever. Everyone has access to it. Why do you get annoyed if you want me money? What else? What else? Are there fresh berries? Maybe I'll buy some. What are those? Oh, these sometimes look good. So I want to risk it. I want them like to be fresh. Fresh. And what else? What else? Not this part. Not this thing. What else? Oh, there's some people that say I almost got myself a beef and went down to Petite to get my berries. Oh, I've heard it out before. What? And what else do you find? What else? What else? What else? That's an interesting color combo. The people laugh. It's like she's the opposite of the people at Walmart that we laugh at. She goes on giving compliments with her videos. It's like, mira esto, míralo otro. I have. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, they are happy. There's no, se me hubiese dicho en que falle they, as they were babies. They were so playful. Do I want Juca today? I'll be here for the water. What else? 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 Did they have their own home? Is what I'm curious about. Did they have their own home or they just use me as a stepping stone to have a bachelor pad? That is so gross. I'm suffering. That is capital punishment worthy for them. What else? 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 Excuse me. Oh, the avocados are right. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I have someone almost grabbing my ass. What else? Whatever. I'm letting my plantain get ripe. If it gets ripe, I'm eating juan today. What else? What else? What else? My parents and my siblings, significant others are trying to kill me. I must stay outside of the community that I grew up in. Since I was 2 years old, I've been saying that. Like everyone here is so taken, que matan. Ew. Oh, look at that. Nice color combo too. What else? What else? What else? I have chips. I want overnight oats. Who's gifting me money? It's PayPal, people. AR Blue Sky. Blue Sky Design Store. Es lo que estoy pensando. Straight to my heart. Arlene Lorenzo art. Shop INTAYIAFAY. I entire shop. My GoFundMe campaign is gofundme.com/f/Arlene-Lorenzo-. What are these? Where are they made at? Ohio. What do they know about Porsche parkings there? Oh, I need a vehicle. Oh. Or is it these? Oh, these are spicy. Oh, it's the hot sauce packet. It's not in it. This I'm gonna buy soon to add to. What else? else? What else?
Yeah, they're over there. The meeting's right there.
Does that even exist? What else? What else? What else? So I don't want it. Do I want ice cream? I can live without these. What else? What else? What else? What do I want? Oh, I want potato soup soon. So I'll be buying the Gouda. Which one did I buy the other day? Oh, the slice one I just tore it into pieces. Why, psychologically speaking, those illegal prostitutes that tried to rape me got into couponing after I dined with them a few times? I'm like, why do they do that? Were they trying to rehabilitate themselves? Liz Nieves, Katie Leon, and Evelyn De Jesus. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I want to shop at International Plaza some days, not just by myself. Y esta gente están cuponeando already. What else? What else? They're like, come, hang out with us. I'm like, no, we're couponing. That's when I started taking like several for real. For real. Did I buy the paper towel yesterday? I don't remember. That's when I started taking like Cipro because I thought like, oh, like I thought I had met women that I could just like spend time and money with. No, gente cuponeando, so there's nothing wrong with people that coupon. These are so cute. These are so cute. I love this one. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? That's pretty cool. I love that trio. Those look cute. Those look cute. Oh, that I love. That's so my kid too. That both of them. That is so my kids. What else? What else? A banner. What else? What else? What else? I've done everything on these ones. I love it. That's why I don't illegally prostitute myself. That bag is pretty. What else? That's cute. Finally. Let's see, Texas is drunk. Trying to kill me. Anyways, I want my home to look like that. Literally. There has to be a few people that live at Villas de Ecois que abren la gaveta and they receive all of this. Porque los cupones se lo quitan ya mismo. And their family don't want them to starve. And they don't want them to be bored. So they get Uber gift cards. There's visas in that here. Disney, you can always order online if you don't want to visit the park. It's not an insult. It's not an insult. If you only get $100 for Disney. For real. Some people get offended and that's like, that's not enough for me to visit the park. Like you can buy yourself something from the website. Or trade it in for someone giving you $100. Invest that in stocks and take yourself to Disney there. With a little bit of time and effort. Without complaining, at least ideally. Oh, these I want. Oh, mira qué linda esa. And they're like right in front of my face. What else? What else? What else? Love these two. These are my small in Texas. What else? What else? What else? That's how my drawer should have looked. And that's why Villas at Eco East. I'm crying on the internet all the time because those people that, excuse me, that I grew up around are so much like if they're not raising one, they're not. I may want to try this guilty pleasure, but it's Midtown by HEB, so it could taste good. Trader Joe's has a flatbread pizza that I like that tastes very fresh. So possibly chicken, uncured bacon, and ranch sauce is what I would try. I can't afford that with sauce. What is that? The Amalfi Coast. What else? What else? What else? What else? In the meantime, I can't talk to anyone in my family or they're like, mientras tú te comes la pizza, I'm gonna rape your crush and have him take me to the Amalfi Coast with your money. Ew, that's how we speak. What does that taste like? It's weird. Oh, that's $1 though. If you cook it well, it might be something that you have at least pizza for $1. That's interesting. I showed other people's purchases yesterday in their carts, and some people had frozen pizza, and one of that led me to stopping here and looking at what they have in the place. Oh, it's the song. I'm like, what would I be doing to this song right now? What else? What else? Juca and ice cream. Juca and ice cream. Anyways, I have some small because I'm a victim of Tiki Hot. Que me robaron la casa, el dinero, me violaron, nada más para hacerse hombre y no, si no, ¿cómo se hace un hombre? Ew. The victim of Neanderthals. I shouldn't throw the back could break. What else? Letting them make their choices. Like all interrupted. What else? What do I want? I want a song, wish list song. Those aren't that bad. The Hill Country ones, I've had them before her. I want a Klondike bar. That's too many just for a single person. Oh, I want Sarah Lee with Cool Whip for just kidding. That'll taste like my pancake that I ate the other day with oil. They have these away from the Latino section there. Interesting. For real. Listening to the music as I speak and show. Which to some people like she was born like in a fashion house. Like in a fashion house. Like some of us walk in those fashion house people van like stripping, putting on scarves on themselves while doing chores. If they have chores, you can't take the fashion house out of the order. What else? Oh, I want a little drumstick, but not the variety kind. That irks me. That irks me. And I don't buy it. They hope you didn't get on him will eat these and I can eat this. What else? What else? What do I want? Grasshopper sounds good. I'm not getting it. It's gonna be Rocky Road. What else? What else? What else? What else? He tormented me, raped me with the ice cream. Y todavía me sigo comiendo helado porque mira, esa es la primera vez que I remember that him raping me with that helado. He said, "Oh, you just turned 18, and someone your age is moving in your home with me porque esa me dio un orgasmo seguro. Y had a closet, you didn't." Luego de que él me robó todo, me violó, and bullied me for. He's been to jail a few times already. I want one of these to play with it in Hilani. And I love HEB. I can't help but mention it. Like, it's what, January, and this is so Texas too. Oh, today, like, the weather's perfect for this too. And I didn't get to use it. It was like that promise to me that I was gonna get a larger home right away. Because I took Jaden Kailani to the pool and basketball court at Legends at Kitty Hawk. However, what else? There was never like an area that was big enough for me to say like, let's play this here. What else? Anyways, you can gift me gift cards through email. It's arbluestar@gmail.com. Oh, a lot of people don't want to do that because what if I'm publicly posting that? They'll hack my email accounts. Those hooks, ticky type. I can't get to my gift cards. Yeah. What else? What else? Anyways, I want to hike near the Carver Library. So I'm shopping Nordstrom. Or the quarry. And I want to. What else? Hike Enchanted Rock again. I've been there already like 3 times, so I don't know what's the big deal of my family of origin. Trying to open it up. That's a cute image. That's really cute. What else? Oh, do they have like stores of gift cards that people just give to them for me and they never get to me? Oh. They possibly give them to my siblings. They're that dumb. They're like, whatever, se la di a la hermana. I have no respect for anyone. Yeah. Lo dice, hopefully la familia solo se muere sin ver a su hijo respetando a la gente. I'm not their mom. What else? What else? Vamos a hablar with how abused I am. Maybe they are adults now and listen to their mother. The mother says be good to be gone. I've not thought about them in decades. Hi, good, and you? The most thing alive on Facebook of the people that have abused me. I wish. Can you double bag it, please? Thank you. The bag, the water too. So While the FBI goes to killing one day, I'll be out shopping or dining or spending time dating and all. I'll be fine. Thank you, you too. What else? What else? What else?
Oh gosh, you do guys, right?
What does it feel like to be a child? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What is it? I haven't switched to Metro. Just because I visited the West Side. And I don't need too much. Dating on esa basura de Arlene Lorenzo. Yesenia Ramirez Lorenzo. In 2020, they would have been kid. Línea de teléfono tienen tu nene y tu nena. Y se vean T-Mobile también para que se vean como familia. Dale, para que Gaby deje de estar molestándote. Para que, and they do that, they cause chaos and then they say, para que Gaby no te moleste y vea que tú de verdad eres una familia con ella. Y le dije, Gaby, múdate tú a T-Mobile, tu teléfono también. Ja, ja, ja. Deja que llore behind the scenes. Deja que llore cuando no pueda decir que AT&T is a long-standing relationship at family parties. Goes ill. Would say, would observe what other people say and what one doesn't object to. And I had 3 months. I would say AT&T is my longest relationship, and I would laugh. Of being proud, like that's a good accomplishment for an abused person. And they're like, we're gonna make sure that you never have AT&T. We're gonna make sure that you never have AT&T. It was as simple as never talking to them ever again. Getting my cell phone myself, not giving them my phone number ever. There, I've had AT&T always. What else? What else? Ugh. You can burn alive Joan of Vargas. You can burn alive Maritza, Arlene Lorenzo. You can decapitate the Señora Miranda. I'm ready. For what? What else? It's when I pick someone to see decapitated and I want to see the killing. What else? And shed a tear. What else? I want to buy a Lexus RCF for myself today. I never complain about gas. It's a necessity. These prices fluctuate, and prices had been set before my birth, so I grew up into a system like, I like it. I need dollars. What else? If I'm gonna hire a prostitute, it'll be in Vegas or Denmark. What else? What else? So what? Oh, look at them. I'm cooking Joko for myself. When I get to my apartment. What else? Look at me. I'm wearing spandex. I'm still a good person. What else? What? Lydia Mirza tried to turn me into the opposite of Nancy, okay? With the lace And I rebelled against that. So that's why she wants to kill me too. It's like I need an identifier that you aren't a bad person. And I look at Margarita Correa, I'm like, but asshole right here, que me está tratando de matar, is working late today. So I don't think you can accomplish people thinking that that is smart. What else? What else? What else? No running shoes. What else? Supposed to be Miss Never gets hurt, and she's hurt me so bad. What else? She prioritizes men's penises. Ew. As if I have husbands when I don't. Ew. Es like que hoy no se canse mucho. Does she say that to people? Que no limpie mucho y no se canse. Por si uno de esos nenes de Benjamín Suárez Lorenzo la llama, tenga energía para tener relaciones sexuales con él. Así ella habla una basura. Full. It's like the worst that one can have happens that one is sick and one says like not today. Pero people have like enough energy que ella no come. What else? 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 Look at my outfit. What else? I need new shoes. This same one from Target if available. I was just at HEB. What else? 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 This kid has been praising our cleanliness in supermarket rooms since way before she visited. And look at how she romances herself. People in 2019, 2020. That fruit tart though. That sandwich with a croissant instead of bread. In the shape of slices from a loaf. Chips from HEB. And I was like, ew, it's not Frito-Lay. What else? 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 I visited and I have blackheads all over my nose, the barritos. Ew. What else? What else? What else? My second cousins want to rape me by telling me, por eso que nadie te hace el amor. Porque tienes la cara sucia. No te enamores de nadie. Oh, el arrepentido. Luego de que me insultó y me dijo que me iba a matar, que people were starting to talk as if I get fat, then that's going to show that he's been raping me. He's like, quédate solita, que nadie te va a querer. Ew. Oh, they're so painful. Ew. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And what year was that? They saw her with their name on it and they got excited. And instead of living with me, the wife, they brought in everyone que habían conocido en el río antes de yo nacer, después de yo nacer, po. Y luego las mudaron allí. Ew. Son, qué puercos son. Ew. What else? 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 The puerca. Has some level of back manners. Ew. Manners go beyond knowing how to eat with a fork and a knife And sometimes one's hands, they don't want to accept that. Yeah. That's at the stage that a lot of them are. Decades ago, aparentemente, based on my poverty stuff. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm cooking chuka. Did I grab it? That's so funny. I did. And that's probably that I eat tonight. Oh, I could throw that on my ice cream. That would be good. I didn't even check how much did I pay for the strawberries from Petite. I just got excited at seeing some localish city on the packaging. But these look nicer to me. What else? What else? What else? Where did I put my receipt? That's funny. What else? What else? What else? I missed Jaden and I missed Kimani. Anyway, you can give me money. I need money for food. Like meal and food stamps. So they want to compare me to a wife that they have that makes a killing porque la familia no les roba y les regalan HEB gift cards all the time and they live in low income places y viven mejor vida que otra gente. Crate and Barrel, everything, gift cards. $5, that's good. How much are like strawberries nowadays? That is what the hydroponics costs. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I don't like my wallet. So shallow to my bag. When does the bus get here? We walk. Anyways, the bus will be here in 15 minutes. What else? What else? What else? I'm heading to my apartment over on the east side. Villas at Eco East. And cooking juka for myself. I'll possibly paint today. I'm excited about that. My apartment is somewhat clean. I cleaned it like 2 days ago officially. The base doors and the fans though. Haven't been clean at all. Ready for a Swiffer. For the months. So everyone that I grew up around those tiki huts are having a feast possibly in my home that they stole from me. With money that they stole from me in my vehicles. So. But those hot, pick me. I'll kill your woman if I have to just to live in this home. One person's watching, 6 friends like this post. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez and assistants for having raped me and stolen my home. It's not the bus 75. It's so funny. I want a bag. This is San Antonio all over too. That's 76. 76. You see some of and gets excited. Sometimes there's one off schedule. What else? 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 Oh no, he purchased groceries. I'm not getting up to it. Self-sufficiency first, right? I have to conserve my energy. Now, if he was like really struggling, I would get my ass up from here and help him. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, and self-sufficiency without belittling people. Like, está bien. Making people feel dumb. Ew. When it possibly was someone else that placed the bag in the basket. I want a tricycle so bad. Does track have one with a basket in the back? Where will I take myself? Alone, I don't do friendships with tiki tiki hoot or hut. I will kill your wife just to keep the home and the BMW. Uy, qué emoción al ver un BMW for. Esa gente me lo quitaron literalmente, like hundreds of people in Puerto Rico. Apparently, se montaron en mi BMW. I had like 3 of them by the age of 16 that I didn't get to drive. And I paid for at least possibly one of them. Porque me lo robaron esa gente de los tiki tiki hooks. Y hot hooks. I'll kill your wife for that BMW. Ew, full. Ew. Ew, full. Ew. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez and his sons for having stolen from me and raped me and humiliated me. You can shoot everyone that stayed in my homes without my permission. Those homes needed to be sold right after they were built if he and I weren't going to live together. Not turn into house me and I'll drive your wife's vehicle and pretend to be your wife. Wow, qué asco. Oh, do you know that there are a lot of fatties out there that are rape victims and sometimes you become mean towards them? You should never judge someone's size. I won't have sex. Based on aesthetics alone. What else? What else? Pero some people are very understanding. Usually the men that cause one to get fat. And they're like, whatever. You're so sexy. You're so hot. What else? 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 That's usually when it's rape. That's not violent rape. It was just an engagement that didn't turn into a wedding. I think my parents married me to David Ledesma in a white dress and didn't provide for me self-care or even like custom session stationery for me to design with him and write back and forth to him. That would have been pretty. What else? What else? So instead of honoring me and respecting me as a woman, he just wants to kill me or trap me into marriage. Oh, and I don't do that. When they do that, they may have already been so overbooked that they're like, oh, she's like perfection that I found like 8th in line in perfection lineup. So I neither hate her, neither love her, but I want her dead for me not having consistency. Like I wake up through the morning and I receive text messages from like 300 people that I love, and there's none from her. There was for like a little bit, but I'm gonna stay consistent. So I want to kill her for not being consistent. Is how they behave. What else? What else? What else? So bored. One person's watching, 6 have liked this post. So we're heading towards equality in the planet. Yay. Or no, I was to give me credit. Oh, some people. Egos. I said it already. Egos. In 2020, 2021, even my parents made me mad. I was like, what do you mean we can all behave and achieve equality? And then she'll take all the credit for leading it. And she won't ever be mentioned in history books by her unoriginal name or social security that some people don't agree with, or even her birthday. Oh, porque I'm that kind of leader. That is so serving that you hear me that I won't go near a fatty to have sex. And I don't want credit. But you're doing the work, basically. If we achieve world peace during my lifetime, you're putting in work by not turning bad and or by turning into respectful. And it's like healthy for you. And I hate when people don't get that. That it's healthy to feel good about yourself and even happy about other people. Even during trying times. How much money does Mr. Musk have? And he's never taken me out of date. And that's how he brands himself. He's like, I'm taking a Lolita out on a date one day. Who's giving me money? Who's making me rich for my ideas? So that looks like a perfection is such a great idea. But on the DL, he may be pimping himself, saying that he's taking me on a date and never planning to. What else? 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 I'm so bored right now. 0 people are watching. 6. I like this post. Is he a victim of Tiki Tiki Hut too? What did he suffer from in Africa? That he was abused. What else? I need to finish reading that book about. What else? What else? What else? What else? I just read. Oh, you worked hard, not many hours. Let's put this book down. What else? 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 And did she have to sleep with you just to find out about your life? I had to put it down. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I should read the Airbnb story again. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? My cousins recommended the Nordstrom book about customer service. That's what we compare her to. And she doesn't have a home, but in Tiki Tiki Hut, we're outside. We say that's like, what are you selling? What are you selling? Esta no va a la orilla donde violan. And we're like, oh my God, there's Fulanita, there's Fulana, there's this one. And they're like, what are you selling? What are you selling? You look like those people in Nordstrom. Greeting people and you're not selling anything. So they introduced me to that customer service book by Nordstrom. And I haven't talked to them about show your work, that concept we talked about many times. And what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? The Airbnb story, though, we voted that yes, people could stay in other people's rooms safely decades ago, along with that Chick-fil-A piece of meat that you can buy individually. I'm like, why not? I'm not Miss. That's expensive. I'm like, oh, shit, Just the chicken added to my own salad, maybe. Over yuca, maybe that I cook. Just the chicken. Just the chicken. Uber. What else? A lot of projects begin also with the government servicing people. It's like now everyone wants a married maid living with them. It causes tension onto some people. Some people say that maid has a right to have her own home and watch what she wants at 8 a.m. instead of like cleaning for her family at 8 a.m. if that's like the schedule. So one tries to alleviate slavery as much as one can instead of adding maids onto everyone's home that they would permanently live in. Sometimes a maid becomes an attachment of the family. Some people don't want that. So the best way to add services to people is like delivery services, ride sharing, alleviates the need for everyone having a vehicle. And also it's good practice for if there was ever a need for people to actually get into ride sharing because there's a natural disaster and someone says, dame pong. What else? What else? What else? What else? And you say, I don't like this person. Like, I don't have a time. It's an acquaintance. But that's Fulanito that gets the milk in those bottles to my home all the time. So if I don't give Fulanito a ride after this hurricane to get to where he wants to, I may not ever see those bottles of milk. So some people just help out for that reason, not because they're kind. They are self-serving too. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? How many huts do I have? My home in Singapore that I haven't moved into yet. What else? 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 I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad. I need money ASAP. And life is it on? Is it? Did I pick a sex swing or not? I can't remember. I can't remember. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? That's fascinating. A sex swing for just one. If need be. What else? What else? What else? What else? Ew. Who has the keys to some of my huts? Oh, it's a tiki hut. Han llevado toda la. Hi, I'll kill your wife just for you to take me into her home. Esa gente son tan puerca. I'm seeking a live killing of those people that have stolen from me, that raped me. How can the FBI dispose? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So more. Anyways, I want to invite from Loro Piano. To his yacht. Porque mi auto lo robaron. Y él está sobreviviendo en What else? That's also why I tend to do my own thing too, like on my own schedule. Like, why would I want to be at the Hamptons where everyone is there? That's gonna say to me, no me invitas a tu yate. Que ya no me invitan. Your children know. They didn't have a right to take me in it. What else? What else? What else? What else? Didn't the Ledesmas give me a home there so I could attend MIT? What else? What else? got for myself when I'm doing homemade strawberries and ice cream. I'm never calling my mother again. What else? And tomorrow it'll be 4 years since I've spoken to my family. And I'm gonna keep adding years to that. What else? People say there's no reconciliation. Arlene, when they've abused you so much, don't give them that right. I hate that feeling because with financial stability, I just had dinner with them literally and with Dana and Kingani. That's like you're gonna always trying to tell me what to do or what not to do. I know some people say that those people end up getting jealous and one's own mother takes a knife to her head and but it kills me because out of jealousy. I don't know about that. I believe in rehabilitation. And even though Daniel said to me decades ago that world peace doesn't mean that we all have to get along. It means that we are not trying to kill each other. So I don't give up on my goals of world peace and look as a hypocrite. Like, Tiki wants to make me look like. What else? Because as long as I'm not getting in the way of her life and she isn't getting in the way of mine, and that comes in the form of dollars. Estos Tiki que se mudaron a mi casa. They did so, and they were my mother's lovers, not mine. Yeah. What else? More. Zero for watching since I'm like this one. Some more. Anyways, I want to stay at the Albert Hotel in Fredericksburg. Had a nice sentiment. I want to eat pizza in Fredericksburg. We're gonna hike Enchanted Rock. They're gonna spa treatment at the Albert Hotel, so I guess I'm gonna just get a room for one day. Get a spa treatment, eat some food there, walk around Main Street on Fredericksburg, and then before after a hike Enchanted Rock. What is there to dance to around that area? That would be fun. What else? I enjoy my me time. I love doing activities at home. And with Jada with me Monday. And I prioritize my orgasm so much that I know that there are days that it's impossible to get one. If I choose to spend my time with Jada and Monday and I'm willing to do that, it's not even a sacrifice to me. I think I came today when my child said, I just got pregnant today. So, not entirely, but that feeling of joy. What else? That is the most beautiful feeling that once it is self-sufficient, respectful during the difficult times, or her brother and myself. What else? My hotspot on my laptop. Somebody just paid my TNT phone bill today. It's the little things, really. They want to show those people that are those people threatened to kill them. They're leaving this libro como que van a enseñar que llegamos a Guagua. Que salimos de un río. Cuando en San Antonio hay río también. Y no, ya no salimos. What else? What else? Those people that I grew up around, they're fake historians to kill people. And I called them out decades ago, that's why I don't like them. And I exposed them as like a life killing for them. They're like, no, porque en un momento salimos de un río y no matamos en Guagua. And I did once say, mi obvio que yo no me he montado todavía, que pagué. Entonces me roban. They're like, oh, señorita, we're going to kill you one day. You know too much. And you speak up very freely without your speech impaired. Que no sabe hablar y no sabe explicarle a un policía cómo le robamos. They mistake silence for weakness, or they engage intelligence. They're embarrassing. Like, one has to call it what it is, so that hopefully they rehabilitate themselves. If not, they're going to continue being an embarrassment for the rest of their life. Not my problem. What else? Tiki, I won't kill your wife. Just to keep your home. Oh, porque también they live scared. They got tiki. Y mira, tiki. Ajá, yo te cocino, nene. Y está con el cuchillo mientras pela la yuca y le hace así un día, me voy a quedar con tu casa. What else? What really couple. That Jimmy's in the latest yeah, may having sodas the suns are good. Side of the Moscow. You can burn a life Jimmy's in the latest on the sodas. You can shoot and having sodas on the suns that have raped me, stolen from me, belittled me, humiliated me, embarrassed me. But that's not a reason to seek the death penalty for someone, but I'm just gonna have that. They've embarrassed me. What else? Doing the wrong thing? What else? I don't feel pity for those that say, oh, but it's still a woman that has a grandmother and I go all out and take her on dates. I took that in decades ago, never hosted a tea party for them. I hadn't thought about them in more than 20 years. They've never been in my priority, and they never will. What else? What else? So bored. I think you could go like. One person. person's watching, except like the spouse. She's very cool. And ice cream fries. And water. That's the only I do.
Earlier.
Anyways, what did we leave? So this was son's buy today with money that is still on me. I left behind the How many people did they host in my home so they stole from me? I left behind this post. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else?
Personally, to these 200 or every after like I don't like the taste like
How many penises they have land in their ass
especially like
and vaginas in their mouth trying to prove the gluttonous of a mother while stealing from me? Ew, fuck. They supposed to become servers of who has their own room and a closet full of outfits. So that if we ever have to go to court, I can say, well, fulanita, mamá la trata bien y lo que hizo es tratarle mal. I would have shopped out. Pretty nice. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else?
I can't stop laughing. I went to bed crying so laughing.
I purposely miss. You wish you could be like us. That represent to be you. Ay, no llevancito. Ay, gracias. Yeah. Oh, una basura. Oh, no, es una basura. Is Willy Wonka about identity theft? For real, I'm not the only one that suffers from that. My family, unfortunately, the people say that before the videos of Black Friday of how bad it gets. People stealing my BMW, getting in line just to dance with my crush that was gonna take me dancing. Yeah. That Willy Wonka and the Oompa Loompas are. How many copies of me there are out there that don't measure up because they're not me and they're not even themselves to someone else. Yeah. What else? What else? What else? What else? I want to live at 300 Main with Kimberly A's within the next few weeks. Or 7600 Broadway, or the Arts Residences, or Art House, or even the Dream Hotel, or the Thompson. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can shoot everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money today. January 4, 2024. What else? What else? What else? What else? I want to shop Nordstrom.com later. I'm cooking chicken for myself and waiting for dinner. Oh, we just got walked in together. There's period. Let me look at my floor. On purpose, possibly. I used to not miss, and I'm like, whatever. Everything's nice up here. I've been hosting a live killing of sorts on. Oh. Do they get arrested as I'm posting them? It's interesting. Like my ideal life killing of people that have abused me. I don't need it to be up. They think about the 18 million people that died while they were reading me, thinking anytime her mother will give her money and she'll start showing us those dresses that her kids. And then they dragged into depression. And so they reported basically of people dying. And they're like, man, I could have given her money a while ago and I didn't. Wow, I thought she had a mother. What? Oh, I saw the Arbor Hotel in Fredericksburg on my phone. I couldn't load the pictures from my slow hotspot connection on my front phone. What else? So it looks very quaint, very pretty. I want to stay there soon. Book a spa treatment and take myself hiking. What else? The Hyatt existed, so if that's one of my second cousins celebrating a relationship with someone, or my death prior to it happening, I'd love to become a paid guest. What else? I don't micromanage and say, no, I'm not taking myself to this place because they will remind me of someone say that's for dinner. At this place, how comfy are the sheets? How clean is it? What is there around to do there? That's all there is. They're mockery when they do it to try to inflict me. That is what I've been since I was like 3 years old. What else? What else? OMG, no me digas que se convirtió en barbero para que si yo tenía un nene, él se lo llevara a recortar. Y así el poder ver el nene. No fucking way. No fucking way. That sounds so familiar. Of tiki hood expectations. When they're married to people and they're like, well. If I want to see the kids of my other wives, I may have to get into a job that they can bring the kids to me. Anyways, I usually take Jaden like wherever I'm around. Sergio at the BX. At McDo, our first place was so pleasant to see. So pleasant, pero porque he's Puerto Rican, living in Florida at least that time. So likely using that word again. So pleasant. There's something que uno ve and they start smiling. And one smiles too. I'm like, I'm here for you to get a haircut. Yes, Sergio. Whoever Sergio is. Anyways, where's my invite to dinner, Sergio? Like, Sergio looks like the kind of people that could be somewhere near of his own home, greeting people at parties and always being in a good mood. That is what Sergio reminds me of. Like the VX barbershop, just thinking, like, integrating it. What else? I took Jaden to a place near Waters. Oh, ¿quién era que le cortaba ahí o algo? I knew someone, a relative of a relative of a relative, I think, que se le cortaba near the Waters, or Acre visited for a while. So I took my kid there until he got a bad haircut one day. I'm like, I'm not making the 1 hour trip to this barber. Or my kid to get a bad haircut. I got to the top and whatever. It didn't turn out as I was expecting. What else? And that was possible. Let's see what it was like a while. So I had like a long time to wait and do nothing. What else? Let's take him to the base here. But I always pick the barber, or Maker picks the barber. Like, it's normally, sometimes it's whoever is available, but we get in the habit of waiting for someone. Like, no, it's okay. No, I'll wait for like the person that actually gave him a good haircut. What else? I want to eat a photo. I want to dance at 1902 next week. Who is cutting my hair? Well, I'm making my own Chelsea. Some people suggest, and now at the same time saying no more Chelsea. Not after you made it so public that you're seeing people that have before. So, not a smart cut place like that. There's some people, bendito, that get so abused out of their dream of their own talent and ended up at a place like that. There's dry bar over near the quarry, so they give haircuts there. I'll have to check the menu. I always confuse it. So I'll possibly do that. Or La Cantera. They have a place for haircuts. That's not one of those smart cut space. There's a place on I-10. It goes by a guy's name too. That some of the ladies that shop at Nordstrom supposedly got their hair done there. I could try that one out. What else? What else? In the meantime, there was never any animosity between Chelsea and myself, even though Chelsea knows that I live or getting the death penalty for her. She gets in the way of my finances and my life. We were very cordial. I want my hair done this way, she would get it done, and I would pay her for her service. Even tip her. I love dogs. I love dogs. I look so much money at she was a little kid too, so what if her parents trafficked her into illegal prostitution or something like that, and then she wants to get out of it, already got out of it. It didn't sound healthy when she said that she married her husband and that she for her. So then one thinks like, are they truly happy or she married him at a baby just for her stability? And that kid is so talented. So talented. He even writes, he says that she has a script. She told me that she could possibly, like, there's no reason for her to be a sex slave because she's a human, and then on top of that, she has like a lot of talent. She's very good at what she does with hair too. Oh, I'm mourning the fact that I won't be able to get my hair colored Chelsea anymore. Possibly. After all this drama that my family has created. That's to keep her poor and so that I don't give her larger tips than I was giving her. What else? 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 So maybe after a few times, maybe I'll say I'll just get my hair cut with Chelsea. So I can leave her a tip and then never come back. It's out of bondage money, people call that. That's what I do. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What grade on Saturday? An open when she literally studied my degree or they want to say. They're like, well, Sarah's mom emancipated her at 16 and she lived with me in your home. And she studied and obeyed that what and she got the degree in art that you wanted. So it's cool. Take it to your boot. I'm like, no, stop it, coming out of it. I'm excited and scared of it. That's what they sound like. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So their life revolves around that. If they're like extremely retarded and they're just so beautiful on the outside, which is very possible. What else? 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 Isn't that their champ? People say when he's not being the great. Forget that. They told a long time ago. He's like, whatever, now I'm just gonna be going ticket boat. You know, like that's not what they mean when they say that I'm much more understanding than you are as a leader. You don't have to become evil, literally. Because I supersede your intelligence in that I don't rush into the club. Even though they're trying to kill me too. They love it and then they need me on the weaker and they're like, I just start reading my certificates. Also, some of them know serious, so they know what I'm talking about. And they say that's the feeling. They're trying to kill her and then we get read my certificates. Meaning her like also lively. What else? 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 Clearly, okay. Post. That. was the great. And that was but how can the great be the great if there's no the greatest of all time? It's like he doesn't get it then. Literally didn't think that he was just gonna get a gold star out of his ass. It's like the greatest supposed to produce the greatest of all time. Maybe he's shocked that it was so close to him. That it was produced. What else? What else? What else? And they was mad. They told him he should die before me, so he's trying to kill me just to see what he can do in the planet after my death. If then he'll continue in the ground. Or tiki. Oil stress, that he's over that big. What will this planet be without him? Porque he leaves a legacy, obviously we all know. And the higher existed before he was born, wasn't it? What an asset. What an inspiration to so many that breathe. Got out of illiteracy and then he bullied me into being so scared that I couldn't read. At a library. What else? Nothing else. Thank you. What else? What else? I want a crop top sweater, some high-rise leggings. That's what I'm looking for. And I want a tan. I want a tan. My sweater may have shrunk. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else is more? Here's the star thing live on the camera every day, and I don't turn against anyone. What else? I've only had sex once last year. No, not last year, the year before that. With Richie was supposed to be. He's the nene. He was so caring as a 5-year-old. Decades ago. So pretty. So unnerving. I just withdraw myself from people for that reason. What else? What else? And I think I'm like your only choice to get out of sticky food. And does he behind the scenes saying like, hey, one time at Vancouver? Until his next aventura. Because most of the time they have people already that they're stable with, and they're like, whatever, I'm just gonna chismosear out here with all of my primas and see which one bites literally my penis later. I'm like in mood for una aventura. Not me. I'm like la modelo that's sitting at a family party at least decades ago before I exiled myself. And people show up and say, oh, I'm married to you. What else? It's so pleasant. It was so pleasant. I'm like, look at that. I remember. What else? What else? I'm that second cousin that they try to kill. And then they show up to one's grandpappy's home and say, ooh. But then that speech, I thought he was going to kill everyone. Afterwards, one used to pretend putting fingers to his head that he was going to commit suicide. And the other one is very hopeful that he was going to kill everyone for getting in between us. What else? What else? What else? I'm so bored. I'm so bored. Like, whatever. It was so awesome. And I don't ever feel sad. Like, oh, no, I don't. Like, I don't make plans, and I feel like I've already met every one of my goals by myself. Possibly I was at the age of 7. I've already visited the library with a man that was my dad. Dance with other people. Hosted my first ride. And what else? What else? What else? What else? So I don't need to go on and say, oh, I can't wait for the day that I do this and this and this and this. It's like it's a progression of life. I want to continue getting in a tub. I cried when I was said to we're no longer bathing by the side of the road. I'm like, no. Why? What else? What else? No, like, el día que un hombre me lleve a mi hotel, yo me voy a sentir que soy mujer. Oh, eso es chiquitiqui hot hot, yo te mato a tu esposa. Porque mientras yo vivo en la casa de mi mamá, yo soy nena chiquita. So, me tienen que llevar a un hotel para yo sentirme adulta. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, and that's how I remember them. As the guy that would get suicidal because people came between us. And the guy that and that's true. Everyone got hurt here one day. Or I didn't know everything else. What else? What else? What else? What else? So I've harbored no bad feelings for them. That was more than 20 years ago. I wish them well. I plan to travel the planet and be like, all over there. What else my friends that are related to me. You know, para make people mad, it's just like that's my progression of life. That's what I've chosen. What else? What else? What else? It's not fair, it's not being white. Dicen lo que él está donde hoy en Puerto Rico, en mi casa, fucking people having a great time, que ya se le olvidó que yo existo. Y yo estoy sufriendo de forced celibacy because I lack dollars and he has them all in my home y no me los quiere enviar para que yo no pueda disfrutar de que alguien me dé un orgasmo. That's why because I don't care if they get suicidal or suicidal or not. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? One person's watching 600 this post. What else? Is to park en San Antonio de Muanga para Puerto Rico con Jared y Monty and just visit a few times and say mira está ahí guardadito en un storage just because y yo pudiendo utilizar el Uber o ya comprar otro vehículo solo me totalizado este carro 2 veces este año y cuando regrese en una semana. What else? Okay, this is the closest. With all my have you heard those? Those are my voices. joking. Some people understand sarcasm. When one is in a situation of life or death, one can go on bad mouthing people. It's so tacky, literally. I didn't even like him. And it's dark already. So I'm happy because on New Year's Eve I got so excited about the fireworks show. And then I placed it on the back of my pants. Constantly dropped it in the toilet. And what else? What else? And I accidentally flush it. Sometimes I flush without getting up. And if I had seen it in the toilet, I would have been crying. Not quite, however, saying, I have to flush my kids. Let's see how clean my toilet is. Just kidding. What else? There are autistic kids sometimes que se meten en la casa de la gente vive. So that's all I'm looking for. Que no haya sido que they thought they watch this or realize that my door is unlocked and then they get into my apartment. It's semi-clean is good considering what I'm going through. And I see online people's toilets. Oh, that is such a reflection of me. People say I've been here for 6 months in that toilet. Oof. Se puede poner como doesn't want to. What else? What else? I'm about to change my phone because I'm on my menstrual period. I always say probably low. If you must know, Gloria is so expensive. Esa mujer. Yeah, she, as I was a kid, she's like, where to? And that way there's no stains on your clothes, no stains on anything as long as you change often. One behind the other one because I think like, what is this?